Dia div, agus fáilte go dtí Terra IncogWeirdo mo carjas. Hello, and welcome to Terra IncogWeirdo, my friends, and another episode of Tarot IncogWeirdo. And today we are going to look at the origins of life on this beautiful planet Earth in which we live. Whenever I say Earth, I think of Lilo and Stitch, and when the alien confederation was tracking Stitch to where his plane landed, which it landed in Hawaii on Earth, they say, it has landed on a planet called EEE-ARTH. So I would petition that we should start pronouncing Earth EEE-ARTH because it's fun, okay? Just another Auntie Angie autistic tip and desire for having fun on this planet of EEE-ARTH. Okay, so the reason I decided to do this reading is because my husband read to me, or he was talking to me the other day about an article that he read where a guy put the question to AI, did life on this planet evolve strictly on this planet? And the AI was like, nah, brah. Like, the likelihood of life evolving on this planet was some astronomical number. And then the guy asked the AI if life on this planet came from outside of the solar system, and the AI's response was that the percentages were most definitely in favor of life having arisen elsewhere and having been seeded here. So let's see what the Tarot IncogDeck has to say about that. Okay, so let's see if it agrees with AI. All right. So my cards, I shuffle and ask the question, and then I'm going to lay out the reading thusly. The first card that I put down will be nature of the question. The second card will be reason for asking, point of interest. Third card will be factors to be considered. Fourth, solution, advice, or comment given. And the fifth card is the outcome. Okay, so let's see what the tarot deck has to say. Cards, we would like to know if life evolved within the confines of this planet. Did life on this planet arise strictly within the atmosphere and inside the atmosphere of this planet? So did life on this planet arise solely here on Earth? Did it come together in the soup, the big soup that I have heard that some Bigfoot people call that portion of the Earth's existence the Pollywog Pond? So, did all life on this planet arise from the soup known as the Pollywog Pond in the early development of EEE-ARTH? Okay, so let's see what we have. Alrighty. Nature of the question is fire, and very easy to read because fire means creation. So I'm asking, the nature of the question is about the creation of life on this planet. My reason for asking, well, let's find out. Oh, because Auntie Angie just loves peace of mind. I'm always looking for the answer that's going to give succor to my soul. So let's find out. Factors to be considered. Did life evolve strictly on this planet? Okay. So, Uraeus, card number 18, is sagacity and honesty. It also indicates occult adeptship. And when you hear the word occult, most people usually ascribe a negative connotation to that word, but that's not what it is meant. It just means alchemical, magical, paranormal kind of things. It doesn't necessarily mean occult in a negative form. So, factors to be considered. I think that my heart just started to pound as I almost said that. I think that what this may be saying is that that there was an intelligence behind the creation of life on this planet. And I'm going to open my book here and see if I can get a little bit of additional information. So let's see. Okay, so sagacity and honesty. I think I'm going to have to read this in the upper levels of spiritual, transpersonal, or the super conscious level. So, wisdom and occult adeptship come into this category. This type of wisdom is concerned with the ability to handle pure energy. And let's face it, folks, there are very few adepts out here in the world these days that can handle the creation of Earth and life on this Earth. But what this card is indicating is that type of influence is what the impetus was for life on this Earth. So we have a tick in the column of intelligent creation, okay, which sort of belies the principles of evolution, which would be a wholly naturalistic sort of thing, and would not require intelligent direction. Okay, so it's this kind of leaning towards, so far it's kind of leaning towards what AI was saying, not much of a chance that life developed on its own here on this planet. Okay, so solution, advice, comment given. Oh, well, Hathor. Hathor is a card for the mother. And she is, this is the archetype for femininity. So it's saying that life was brought forth consciously by a mother figure, by a goddess figure, okay? And what is the outcome? Oh, look at that. Good old Thoth. We love Thoth here on planet Earth. So Thoth means fate and karma, health and healing and scholarship and education. So, and of course the caduceus is the symbol for health and that sort of thing in life. And let's I would actually like to give you a little bit information here about about Thoth. The caduceus is a wand with 2 serpents entwined around it, surmounted by 2 small wings around a disc, or sometimes by a winged helmet. The serpent should cross the central staff point 4 times, representing the 4 elements of which energies of the universe are composed. The 4 elements for which the energies of the universe were composed. Caducei, sometimes depicted with 3 or 6 crossings, are in fact incorrect. It is a very ancient symbol, probably first appearing in Mesopotamia, at least in this round of civilizations, because we have to remember that the continents have been subsumed and remade at least 4 times that geologists are aware of. So who knows how many civilizations there have been on this planet. Listen to this. In certain Eastern traditions, the caduceus corresponds to the axis of the world, the axis mundi. And the serpents refer to the force called Kundalini energy, which is said to sleep coiled up at the base of the spine and only to rise as man evolves spiritually. The Kundalini, we are told, symbolizes the evolutive power of pure energy. So, I think it's pretty clear, given that AI that the cards are indeed backing up what AI said, that life did not evolve on this planet in the form of a natural process, that there was intelligent interference, mainly by a goddess figure, which, let's go back to Ishtar, because she's one of the first. Yeah, Ishtar in her many, many different forms. She was a sister of Enki and Enlil, if you're into the Sitchin, Zechariah Sitchin stuff. She is said to have been one of the 3 siblings, Enki, Enlil, and Ishtar. And Ishtar ruled over the Indian subcontinent area. And that's why you will primarily find Ishtar's mythology strongly in India and the Middle East. Okay, so I think that this card is pointing to that goddess, and that it was an intelligent creation that was made for the purpose of the beings who live here to evolve spiritually. And isn't that interesting? Haven't we heard that story before? I know I sure have. So I think that's pretty cool. And so I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to put the cards back together, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to do another reading where are our origins? Where are our origins out there in the multiverse? Who are we related to? Who seeded us here? Hang on, let's find out. Okay, here we are back. All the cards are upright and in order, and we are ready to ask the next question, which is, where, if life on our planet did not originate here on the planet, where did life on this planet originate? Who are ancestors? Who seeded us? Who brought us here? Who brought life here? Who brought life to planet EEE-ARTH? Come on, say it with me. EEE-ARTH. You know you love it. Come on, you're IncogWeirdos. Get your IncogWeird on. Ooh, that sounded very, very wrong. But I kind of like it because I'm that kind of a person. Get your IncogWeird on. Where did life on EEE-ARTH arise from, if not here? So you've already told us that life did not arise here on the planet. And so where are our genetic ancestry? Where does it lie? Whence does life on this planet, from whence does life on this planet arise? My darling cards, please help me read true. Okay, where on this, in the endless multiverse, from whence does life on this planet arise? Nature of the question, well, Earth, because it's about EEE-ARTH. The question's about EEE-ARTH and life and growth on this planet. Aren't the cards amazing? They amaze me every single time I use them. Okay. What is Auntie Angie's reason for asking? Because this means that's that which is hidden, or which you do not have it. Well, that which is, it's sort of like it's secrecy and patience and waiting for the outcome. So reason for asking is because this is a question that's been asked forever and ever for a very long period, and we would like to know. We inquiring Incogweirdos would like to know factors to be considered. From whence did life on this planet originate? Where do we come from? Oh, twins. Interesting. Partnership. It was a partnership, folks. Okay, so I'm going to go Sitchin all on you again, because Sitchin says that Enki and Enlil, I don't believe they were twins, but sure they were brothers, that they were the two who, along with Ishtar, came down and brought life to this planet. Okay, so this is a myth that you're gonna find in many ancient civilizations, that there was a pair of siblings, 2 or more, that came, as many as 9, so 2 to 9, that came down onto this planet and brought life to this planet. So this, again, just like the last reading, is pointing towards Sitchin, and Sitchin's, all of Sitchin's information comes from ancient Mesopotamian, Assyrian, and all these ancient cuneiform stela, and the information that is gleaned through the mythology in the Middle East of this world. Okay, so a pair of siblings, a partnership, twins. That's factors to be considered. I just paused for a moment because I thought maybe it was talking about the constellation Gemini. Okay, we'll look into that in a moment. Okay, so solution, advice, or comment given. From whence did we come? Oh, well, Anubis. And Anubis is the navigator. Anubis is a spiritual navigator that navigates souls through the confusing underworld to bring them out to the throne where their soul is weighed against the weight of a feather. Okay, so this indicates solution, advice, or comment given that they traveled here from elsewhere. Okay, that it was traveling, and I'm gonna look into the constellation of Gemini in a second. Okay, so the outcome was life on this. Whence does life on earth? From whence doth it come? And the outcome is Horus. Okay, so Horus is a family card, and Horus is one of the three main gods of the Egyptian pantheon. So Osiris is the father, Isis is the mother, and Horus is the son. So if you wanted to like interpret this in terms of like Christianity, this would be Jesus, okay? The son of the father and the mother, okay? So what I'm getting from this is that that we're all a family in that I feel like it's saying we've come from this family of man, like way into back history, like further than we've ever thought about before. And I'm going to look at Horus to see if any specific constellations are named with regards to Horus, because I am not certain about that. So, well, okay. Horus also relates to the sun, S-U-N, as well as the sun, S-O-N, right? So, let's look at Horus and its, healing, beauty, creativity, and it represents family, loyalty, reliability, and devotion. So I keep the term family of man keeps popping up into my head, okay? And let's see, what else do we have? So the symbol of the all-seeing eye, originally the eye of Ra, the old creator god of the early Egyptians. The eye was kept in the family, so to speak, and passed from father to son. There were originally two eyes. Did you know that? Two eyes of Horus, right? Okay, the right and the left. The eye of Horus is considered by some authorities to be the left or the lunar eye. The lunar eye. The moon. Whereas the original eye of Ra, which is the old god hurled in his fury against those who transgressed his laws, was the solar or the right eye, and was represented by the story of the goddess Sekhmet. See Hathor. Oh, well, Sekhmet is another name for the goddess Hathor. Interesting. It reappeared in the form of Uraeus. Oh, these are both in the last reading. The serpent of wisdom, and is one of the symbols associated with Horus's twin sister, Bast. Okay, so it's a whole family affair. Okay, so yes, as my cards are definitely agreeing with AI, which I don't even know what to think about that, as saying that life did not originate here on this planet, but was brought to us through the auspices of a family unit who navigated their way here from elsewhere. And there were two main people that were in charge of bringing life forth on this planet, and I'm going to call it Enlil and Enki. I think, you know, I've always kind of been in agreement with most of what I read in Sitchin. I found some of his interpretations to be a little thin. And I felt like he made some jumps, some leaps, you know, in some of his thinking and decisions. So it's not like I agreed with everything, but the story resonates well, that there's an additional planet with that has a huge orbit that only comes around every, it's like 20,000-30,000 years, something like that, and that when the planet Nibiru gets closer to us, then these our parent culture then comes back and forth between Nibiru and Earth, and supposedly it describes also in Sitchin's books that Earth was at one time a much larger planetoid, and that one of the moons of Nibiru, as it came by through our solar system, crashed into Earth, which at that point was called Tiamat, and part of the Earth got sheared off and created the asteroid belt that is now existent in our solar system, and the Earth was made smaller in this event. So that's part of the story. And if you're interested in the whole thing, then there's an entire series of Sitchin books that you can read that will give you this entire story. And it seems very much to me from what I'm reading here that is in fact the truth of it. We were seeded and brought here, our DNA brought here from another race. That is, we are considered to be part of this greater family of man, and that the earth was seeded for us to live here so that we may evolve spiritually into higher vibrational beings. I love that. I love that. Yay! Just like I love Ween. If you like my shirt, it's a Stallion Man. I don't know if you can see what it reads. It says down here, it says, "Do you know who you're effing with?" Well, if you're a Ween fan, you know. Dina, call me the Stallion Man. I'm the Stallion Man. That's right. And I'm going to leave you all with that. Auntie Angie is the Stallion Man. No, Auntie Angie's tarot cards are the Stallion. Let's call it. My cards are awesome. They are the Stallion Man. Okay. Well, thank you guys for being here today. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about all of this. I think it's pretty interesting. I can't say that I was expecting to get the Sitchin Tiamat Nibiru story borne out through my cards, but that is indeed what we appear to have. So write down in the comment sections below, discuss amongst yourselves what you think about this reading. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, because it helps me. It really helps me keep going. I'm trying to gain the numbers and you know, kind of get the ball rolling here on Terra IncogWeirdo. If you could share my channel or share this video with others, that would be so appreciated. Thank you very much, IncogWeirdos. I appreciate that very much. If you have any questions for the Tarot IncogDeck, please send them in to me at my Gmail address, terraincogweirdo@gmail.com. Also, if you have any stories or anything that's happened to you, any of your own experiences of strange and paranormal that you would like me to recount here on Terra IncogWeirdo, please also send them in to me at my email, terraincogweirdo@gmail.com. Okay, guys, so that's going to be it for today. Thanks for being here. Terra IncogWeirdo, the land where para is normal. And we will see you next time, you beautiful IncogWeirdos. Remember to bring your light and share it with everybody. We'll see you next time. Slan go fall. Love you. Bye-bye.